I want to get to this Casper TNG interview. All right, Casper TNG has finally released the interview that he did with CBC Q. All right, he posted something on his Instagram page. Bang. All right, him and this interviewer guy over here. Okay, big salute to Casper TNG. Find the full interview wherever you listen to podcasts on Tuesday, June 2nd.
Trying to take pictures.
I'm Tom Power. Welcome to Q. I want you to think back to a time in your life where you had to make a really big decision. Like you might just try to get that in that mindset. You were making a decision that would end up changing the trajectory of your life. And you know that decisions like that can be so scary and it can feel like a lot is at stake. The rapper Casper TNG found himself in that exact same spot. Now, if you haven't heard of Casper before, he's a rapper from Toronto, had a lot of success in sort of the underground Toronto hip-hop scene about a decade ago. And then after getting involved in crime as a teenager in Toronto and spending 3 years in prison as a result of some decisions he made back then, his music career, as you might guess, was put on pause. And when he got out of prison, he had one of those decisions to make: return to that life of crime or bet on himself and spend all the money he had on financing his music career. He chose music and he put out this song.
I'm just running up the market.
Oh,
Too many women I did not.
you're not playing me with that. Sorry.
And for his family. Casper TNG's story is not one you hear on CBC every day. It's about growth. It's about redemption. It's about betting on yourself. Here's our conversation. You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I was talking to some people in the hallway on the way down, and they said, sometimes when I'm walking to the studio, they go, "Who are you talking to?" And I said, "I'm talking to Casper." They went, "TNG?" And I went, "Yeah." And they went, "The market." They all shouted the market at me at the same time.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's funny.
How are you finding this? Like, this song got really big. Things are really big right now. How's it all feeling?
It's feeling surreal, to be honest. Like, it's feeling crazy. It's I'm grateful to see it, you know?
Yeah.
Grateful to be here. Yeah, it's just crazy. It's overwhelming.
Is that happening a lot? People shouting at you when you're walking down the street, or?
I don't want to be walking too much in the street.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like that. I was at JD Sports the other day, doing some content.
He's got his interviewer voice on, and I don't mean interviewer like I'm going to do an interview with CBC. Like interview, I'm trying to get a job voice on. You know what I'm saying? He's not like, yo, differently, you know, I'm going still. Like he's like, so what do you think that some of your best qualities are? Well, I'm a hard worker. I work well with others. I'm a team player.
For them, they premiered the music video for the remix, and I was in there, and people were seeing me in there, like trying to take pictures and stuff. But I've been doing this for a little while, so it's not really. I'm not new to it. It's just like it hasn't been this big before. So it's just another a different level.
Because when you were a kid, it was basketball, right? Like that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I wanted to play basketball. When I was maybe 14, I thought like 10 years from now, they'll say, "What are you going to be in 10 years?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to be in the NBA, stuff like that, you know." But time, God has different plans and stuff, you know what I mean? So still made the league, just a different league.
You stopped playing basketball and you dropped out of school at the same time. Is that right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
What was going on at that time? As much as you want to tell me.
I was like 16. I was just going through a lot.
One thing that, and listen, salute to Casper, that shit threw him off. I can hear it. I don't even need to see him. I can hear his body language, right? Don't ever get it twisted when it comes to them reporters over there at the mainstream media outlets, okay? Anything that you think they might not know about you, they know everything about you before you walk in the door. They're not just one person's researching. They'll have a research team just giving, hey, what about this? You might want to ask them about this. So, yeah. They'll know if you freaking hit somebody with a rock in preschool back in the days. They know everything. And this is a government-funded company. They could just go look up in, what do you call it? The police records and all types of shit and see all, they have so much access.
Getting into like street politics, stuff like that. Trying to make money, you know? So I was like taking different routes to try to make some money and stuff like that. You know, I got into selling drugs and other different illegal things. So I kind of stopped going to school. Yeah, so the basketball thing kind of went away. Like the basketball thing kind of got put to a halt because, like, in order to go to the NBA, you got to go to school and you got to get the scholarship.
You go to
Not the
college
scholarship,
and-
but you got to go to college.
Yeah. Go play college ball and
You
then
got to play college ball. Then you got to
Yeah.
get drafted from there. So it's like, all right, from once I'm not in school no more, it's like, why am I playing basketball? So I just stuck to the music and stuff like that. Just rap my experiences and stuff, what I was going through.
Right. So I get it. You were a kid. You were like 16. You needed to make some money. You kind of went into some criminal worlds in order to be able to do that and doing some drugs and stuff like that. But rapping is something that's like stays with you. You're able to keep doing that, and you start rapping about your experiences.
Yeah.
And it takes off pretty quickly. When did Dope Boy come out?
That was in 2015. I was 18 when that record came out.
A dope boy or rapper, she got a dope boy or
And stuff like that. Can I ask, like, with respect, like,
Yeah.
how was juggling, making music, and I don't even know what to call it, Casper. Like, I don't know if I call it like crime or like what would you call it? Like the other life you were living.
I don't know. I just call it life.
Okay.
That was just my life.
Fair enough. So, like, but you know what I'm trying to get at. Like, how did you juggle like the other parts of your life with that? It just seems like a lot to me.
Yeah, I didn't juggle. I couldn't juggle really. Like, I was in and out of jail. Like countless arrests and stuff like that, you know, since I was probably like 17 years old.
I see you, Johnny Blix. Thank you.
So I would say if I was juggling, I was doing a bad job at juggling, but it was just a lot. It was just a learning process. You know what I mean? It was a learning process. Not Rome wasn't built in a day. You know what I mean? So it's like I'd be making music and maybe the day before I was doing like some crazy shit. Like I was living like heinous, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but
it's hard to explain this to not just like a white man, but like somebody who's outside of the lifestyle, right? And I seen somebody say earlier in the chat, like, you know, the guy sounds like a therapist. This person already knows. He's asking you questions that he already knows the answers to. He just wants to hear what your answer is going to be. But like, it's hard to just be like a square. Thank you, Jordan. Right. But it's hard to just be like, yo, listen, this is how it was. This is how it happened. Like, he's being very calculated with his words. He wants to make sure he's using words that are not too slanged out so like homie could understand. But he also doesn't want to make himself look like a savage. You feel me? It's cool to call yourself a savage around your own people. It's not cool. I don't think it's cool. But man, think it's cool. Yo, I'm a savage. I'm a sav. But you realize once you get into the outside world of your block and stuff like that, that they'll be like, if you say that to like homie over here, Tom, he's gonna be like, "You're a savage." Interesting, right? And I'm not saying this is what Tom thinks, but there's white people who are like, "Oh, well, I'm glad you're self-aware." That's what we've been saying about you guys forever.
I don't know. It didn't really affect or kind of change anything. Like, because when you're so entrenched in the life that you're living and what you're doing, you're not really understanding what else is going on, especially when you're young and this is all happening so fast and stuff like that. I'm having hit records. People are noticing me on the street. But at those times, it's like, you could call it that you're famous, but you're still living the same life that you're living, and nothing feels different. So it's like you like that moment kind of passed me by. Like, I didn't really even realize I was in that moment.
Like, how, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm just gonna put the boat in the water, man, and you row it, like.
Yeah.
So like,
that's actually kind of crazy. Like, he probably doesn't even remember the last few years, like all doing the interview during that time, like you know, the car chase and all that. It was probably just a freaking leaned out blur.
You go to prison for a while. The story I heard is that, like, the thing that, because people might be wondering at this stage, like, okay, so like, what happened? Like, how does this guy not that long ago was saying things to me like, yeah, you know, I was making music, but then I also had this other life, and like, I wasn't doing a very good job at juggling them. I was just living one. Obviously something changed, and I was trying to figure out what it was. And I was talking to Vanessa, our producer, who I talked to you before. And she said this beautiful thing, that it wasn't like music, it wasn't even like prison that helped you make that change. It was having a daughter.
Yeah, like kind of, because I had my daughter before I went to prison, right? So going to prison, not having that relationship with my daughter, you know, and not being able to be there for her and stuff like that, and then coming out.
Reveal, super reveal. Again, these are journalists. I do interviews and stuff, and I do my degree of journalism. Okay, I'm not going to take anything away from myself, but these mans are journalists, bro. They be digging.
And being able to be with her and stuff like that, be with her every day, build that relationship with her to the point where it's like, it clicked, like, I can't leave this girl's life now. Like, you know what I mean? I can't have to get my shit together. I don't really have time to waste anymore.
You get out and you say, okay, I missed this chunk of my daughter's life.
Yeah.
And these are important years.
Oh, yeah, very important years, yeah.
And you're like, okay, I can't do that again.
Yeah. Basically, I was just like, yeah, I can't do that, you know, can't let my family down and stuff like that. So it's like I had to just lock in and just focus on, all right, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do music. All right, lock in. I'm gonna and I just worked a long time of on trying to change the stigma that I have around my name, stuff like that.
What is that stigma around your name?
Just the stigma, like, you know, Toronto street guy, hood guy, you know, probably a crash out, does drugs, stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I heard there was a moment though that
self-awareness. Holy shit, man. I'm like, pause. I get a little tingle, like you know, like of being proud, man. Like, this is nice. A mature Casper.
you were thinking about quitting music because that stigma kind of became too much.
Yeah, just the perception. It's like, and then I start thinking like, okay, like 20 years from now, when people think back, oh, Casper TNG, what are they gonna remember? You know what I mean? They're gonna remember all this stuff on the internet and all this, you know, the foolery. So I was like, yeah, I'd rather just cut it where it is. You know, Casper was a good artist, great. You know what I'm saying? And then,
because it's a big decision, right? Like, because I also heard there was like a decision, like, am I gonna invest my time and money into being a musician and like being an artist, or am I gonna invest my money and time into like the things that got me in the shit in the first place?
Yeah. No, I was kind of in that situation before the market, you know.
Go put down on another brick or something.
Where it was like, okay, I have some money saved up. All right, what decision am I gonna make? Am I gonna stop doing what I'm doing and just lock in on the music and give it one more shot with the market and my tape One Hell of a Life with 100 band plan, stuff like that? So like I had that idea and put all that together, and I was like, all right, I could do this, but if I do this, I'm gonna have to do 100% go into this
all in
and leave that life alone. Like, and that's what I did. And I got a call from Universal, and next maybe a week after I dropped the song, maybe 2 weeks after, and it all worked out.
I'm gonna say this, and listen, I know if any of you guys see this, you guys are gonna see this. All right, K Money, please, this is your older brother. Follow his example. I know you guys have been both on the road going crazy. You probably have been following his example when he was doing bad shit. Now follow his example as he's doing good shit. I'm seeing it's already happening because he's in less mix-up, but follow the example of your brother now that he's doing good shit. All right? Because like, bro, if you stay out of the mix and just focus and say, you know what? All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to get into the bullshit. Like while K Money was going through all that shit with Top 5 and the GGs and all that shit, Casper said something like lightly, but for the most part, he stayed quiet. All right. He was not trying to even get into the mix of shit that was happening with his own brother because he had money on the table that can get fucked up if you see him in the blogs too much with too much mix up. And this is the shit that happens with a lot of these guys. People are like, yo, I don't know if I want to get in business with them because they got too much shit going on. And the shit is not their views and their streams on streaming platforms are not outweighing the bullshit that I'm seeing them get into that's posted on the blogs. Casper said, you know what, I need to lock in. I can't be seen like this. I rate it.
I'm just here doing the music, doing interviews at CBC.
CBCQ, and look at the comments on the reel of this guy talking about his story. It's really a beautiful thing. I've never seen anything quite like it. I don't want to spoil it for you, but go have a look. More with Casper TNG after this.
What
made
happened
the
there?
call to go hard into your music to make the market, to promote the market.
Yeah.
You had made the market to promote the market,
Yeah.
to give yourself to the market.
Yeah.
And then you get the call from a big major, pretty much the biggest major record label you can get.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
It feels good, man. It feels good. I'm feel blessed. You know, I'm happy. I'm taking care of my family, taking care of my, you know, my peoples and my career. And I'm just finally get to just work and focus just on the music solely and not have to worry about other aspects of my life or how am I gonna, you know, feed my family or how am I gonna pay my rent or how am I gonna do. I don't have to think about these things because
That's beautiful.
I'm in a situation that those are not really problems for me right now. So I could just focus solely only on the music and hours and hours. You know, they say practice makes perfect. So
What do you, when you look back at the story you just told everybody today, what are you proudest of?
I'm just proud that I was able to just get it together. You know what I mean? Inspire the youth and the other upcoming artists in my city who maybe felt the same way as me, that I don't want to do this anymore or whatever. I'm just happy that I can inspire and motivate, and also that you know, I got it together and just kind of did a 180 and beat the odds. And yeah, man, I'm just happy about that.
What do you like? What do you want? You said inspire a couple of times there. Like, what do you want people?
Listen, I know Casper's had his share of drama that he's gotten into and his people around him. And I'm not here to pick any sides when it comes to these street polities and stuff like that. But as far as the people around him, yo, protect Casper at all cost. Let me make my screen bigger so y'all can see me better. Protect Casper at all cost. All right. The potential that he has and the fact that he's been able to make it this far. Please, when he's on roads, make sure that it's a secure situation. Don't be running around here, moving around loose ball, as they say. You know what I'm saying? Pause, right? Make sure to protect Casper TNG at all cost. All right. I don't want to hear no other fucking bullshit stories of a guy who's making it to a certain point, who's been able to break the glass ceiling, and then niggas try to fuck that up. All right. Please.
Able to take from your story who are listening to this?
Just, you know, no matter what you've been through, no matter your perception or the perception that the public has on you, or you know, you've made mistakes in life, or you might not feel like you're at your greatest. You know, you got to just keep on going, because maybe when you're at your back's against the wall, there's not really anywhere else to go other than, you know, or when you're at your lowest, there's not anywhere else to go other than up. So it's just keep working and stay motivated. And that's really it, you know? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I get it. Like, I can't imagine, like, I can't imagine what it's like to, like, worry that your entire life for the rest of your life is going to be, like, summed up by, like, your dumb childhood years.
Yeah.
Dumb things you did when you were a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and that there's no opportunity for, like,
Not only a kid, as an adult too.
redemption. There's no opportunity to be like, hey, I've changed, or like, this is who I am now.
Yeah.
And to know that that's going to follow you around forever. I think the decision to, like, make music anyway, to kind of correct the record, to talk about that is a pretty amazing thing.
No, 100%, because a lot of people don't really understand that. For me personally, if you don't know me, you've heard of me, even if you don't know that you've heard of me, type thing. Like in Canada, whether if it's you've seen on Six Buzz, The Police Chase, or you've heard my music, or you've heard Come Outside, or you heard Freeze, or but it's like you got to see me. I came into this industry independently as a child, as a kid, at like 15 years old. First time I put myself on YouTube doing music. And since then, you just got to see me. The public has got to see me basically grow up from 15 years old to I'm 30 now. That's 15 years. And you got to see.
This is the clip that's floating around right now. This clip over here. But yeah, keep going.
See the times I messed up, the times where I was going through things, the times you got to see my whole life. You know what I mean? And just people did a lot of judging and a lot of a lot of talking down when maybe, we were kids. Maybe we just needed some help. Maybe we just needed some guidance, or maybe we just needed some whatever. But, now that I'm able to be here and look back and be like, yo, like, that's the life I was living. And people can hear me talk now and be like, wow, like he did grow up. Like, wow, he did get his shit together, or, you know what I mean? So I'm happy to have this opportunity now and be able to still be here and still tell my story. And
yeah, and I think for people who haven't even heard it,
great interview,
but might even have someone in their own life that they've sort of like pushed away, or
exactly.
they sort of written off.
Yeah.
Like it's a story that not only can, hopefully you don't have to tell the story forever, by the way. You can just make music and make great music.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I get it. And I appreciate, I'm happy you came in here to talk to me about it. I appreciate it. I hope you don't have to tell it again.
Yeah, I probably will, like a couple more times.
Okay, cool.
Probably a couple more times this year, and then
that's it. I think anyone who's had people written off like that might think,
oh yeah. He will be telling it. Well, we're not going to ask him again about his childhood and all that, because we already did that over at the We Love Hip Hop Network. However, and I'll finish this in a second, he did say, let's find the video.
We love hip
Casper
hop.
TNG. All right. Got the comment pinned. I'm pulling up. All right. See it there? I'm pulling up. So we're going to hold him to it.
differently about their own sort of tendencies because of your story and because of the music that you're making.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And again, I want to point out that everyone cool who worked at the CBC in the hallway was very excited that you were here.
I'm glad to know that, man.
So you know what? I think you're all right.
All right, I'm not going to get a copyright there. Hold on. Did he say anything
And
else?
it's a promise for who I really.
Okay, they probably just play it because this is a radio station at the end of the day, right? Listen, man, salute to Casper TNG. All right, dope interview. Hope that the video drops soon. I would love to see the video and the clips and more clips floating around. I will definitely make some clips myself. Okay, if people want to go and check out this full interview without me stopping and starting and doing the reaction to it, you can check it out over here on CBC in the art section, or just go to cbc.ca and just go put in Casper TNG in the search engine. You'll be able to find this real quick.
We
Thanks
love
for
hip
watching.
hop.
If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.